New York Liberty just showed the entire WNBA that they're ready to defend their title with their win over the Aces to kick off the new WNBA season. Myles Ehrlich, senior writer for Winsidr, is live from the Barclays Center to talk about and break down this win. Myles, before we even get to your takeaways, obviously they got the rings, the banner was put up. What was that atmosphere like in the Barclays before tip-off?
It was loud. It was super loud here. 1 o'clock tip. I feel like it's sometimes tough to get that energy up, but nah, people came ready. People were just enjoying the moment, enjoying the celebration. I mean, it was the first time this franchise has ever done that, but to see the banner to go up and to see all the rings, most of the players and staff had not seen them before. So it was good to also see Ivana Dojkic was brought back. Benijah Laney Hamilton, who's out with an injury, was brought back for this. So it was emotional. And I wasn't sure how the team would be able to respond after that because it just is really just a compartmentalization thing. It's flipping the switch. But they did respond.
Glad Liberty fans didn't have a hangover from the Knicks madness, from them closing out last night. Looking on TV, it looked like it was absolutely packed there. But let's break down the game now. Undefeated to start the season. Do you feel as though that they put the league on notice with that win? What's your takeaways from it?
So title defense, right? The league's always going to be on notice. They're always going to have that target on their backs. But I think the biggest takeaway was what could Natasha Cloud mean to this team? You bring in her as the point guard, and that moves Sab back off the ball, Sabrina Ionescu, but it also brings a lot of defensive intensity. And we saw that come true in the fourth quarter. It gets to a 2-point game, Asia Wilson with an N1, and then Tosh gets back-to-back N1s the other way to get some space. She has 3 assists in that fourth quarter, 9 on the night, 25 points in her debut. She was just kind of all over the place. And I think that that's the first major takeaway. The next one is Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart, a lot of talk about she had some offseason knee surgery after Unrivaled. How would she look? Was she on a minutes restriction? She's 10 of 14 from the floor, and she just looks super comfortable. Had a 3 taken away after the buzzer in the first half. But good to see Stewie. A lot of talk about the offense also in preseason. They're doing this new 5-out, but 27 assists. They were sharing the ball. And then the last major takeaway is something I asked Breanna Stewart about post-game, is in the fourth quarter, the Liberty were 10 of 12 for 20 points in the paint, and they held the Aces to 10 points on 5 of 16 shooting. That was the biggest difference. And Breanna Stewart said they were able to basically punish the fact that the Aces had 4 guards out there at all times. So that meant that they were able to help a little bit down low on Asia Wilson because Asia does what she did, and she was dominant today, another 30 and 15 game. But they were able to help down low and just really collapse in the paint. And then on the offensive end, they were able to move the ball and get downhill because of that size mismatch. And I think that's what we're going to see is this team on it at its best. They were only 4 of 21 from 3 today, which is normally something that they shoot well from. But they were able to get to the paint and just be dominant, 56 points in the paint.
I'm glad you talked about the defense and how it was able to get stops towards the end of the game because when I did like a WNBA preview show, season preview show with our Liberty beat writer, Maddie Kinney, she talked about how like them not getting enough time together on the court during the preseason defensively. So there were miscommunications and things that the ladies were talking about going into the season. So for them to be able to get that right, especially towards the end of the game and get some stops to put that W on the board for that first game is always a good sign going forward. We talked about the Stewies, the Natasha Clouds. I feel like one person whose name didn't get enough recognition throughout the offseason was Jonquel Jones. She just recorded her 91st career double-double with Cheese. That's 8 most in WNBA history. You think she's primed for another dominant season?
Oh, absolutely. And she's coming off of her finals MVP. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it's something, the Liberty or something ridiculous, like 30-2 or something since JJ's gotten here when she has a double-double. So basically, when JJ double-doubles, they win. And it's really that simple. But that was something that I was curious about coming into today was with all that talk about 5-out. They wanted to get Jonquel the ball. She's capable of shooting. She's capable of passing, especially out of the short roll. But their biggest mismatch is when they just have her on a deep seal. And I was afraid that they were not going to get her that ball with 2 feet in the paint enough. And because of all of the talent that's out there on the court and all of the gravity that your Breanna Stewarts and your Sabrina Ionescu's and your Natasha Clouds are going to draw, there was a lot of times that there were 2 on the ball and JJ was able to either find a mismatch or even slip free to the rim a few times. She did that in the fourth quarter, and Breanna Stewart found her. So, yeah, if they're getting her engaged on offense, we know she's going to be engaged on defense. And if she's grabbing those boards too, that's the recipe to winning a bunch of ball games.
Miles, I know they're only one game in. Quality win against a quality team, though, and this is New York sports, so we've got to either have a hot take or some sort of overreaction. Do you think they can go back to back?
Yeah, I think they're built for it. I think it's hard to, especially in the WNBA, keep these rosters together with that hard salary cap, but they kept most of their core and were able to still add a piece like Natasha Cloud, still bring back Marine Johannes from overseas, put Kennedy Burke into a bigger role. She was great today. Niara Sabali was fantastic, especially in the first half when they were still kind of finding their footing. So they've got the depth, they've got the front end talent that we've talked about a whole bunch. So yeah, I think they're in a great position to repeat. And this is a very, very tough league, but they're built for it.
All right, Miles, thank you for hopping on with us, man. We got to get you in studio sometime soon.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. Thanks so much.